Okay, I'd like to thank everybody for coming, both people here in person and the people out on the radio who are listening in. Again, my name's Josh Friesen. I started on the NRD board a little less than 4 years ago, and the issues haven't got a lot easier since then. As chairman for the last 4 years, I've noticed that most of the red faces come out both around the board table, in the crowd, and on the other end of the telephone when you start talking about groundwater management. As board members and as a board, we get pressure from all different directions. We get pressure from Kansas and even the state of Nebraska to cut off access to our renewable resource water. We get pressure from agriculture and other industries to ease the access to water to help grow our economies. Amongst it all, we have to look at the science and have a good dose of common sense when we're looking to find the answers to these problems. We have to try to be fair and try to keep our emotions out of the discussion when we're talking about options. We have to be creative, and we're going to have to think out of the box and probably try management strategies and tools that haven't been tried before. Through all these discussions, we have to remember that the NRD represents 5 counties in southwest Nebraska and over 2 million acres that fall within its borders. As a family farmer with a child of my own, I am keenly interested in seeing our district remain viable for the long term. This viability is found in the economics of the area, namely agriculture. It's also found in access to a clean and abundant supply of water that drives both our industry and sustains life. We have to keep our soil where it's supposed to be with sustainable tillage practices and tree plantings. And one of the most important things we need to do is keep educating our most important resource, the people of the district, in manners of conservation and stewardship of our resources. These are all tasks that the NRD is charged with accomplishing, and these are all tasks that I enjoy being a part of, and I would like to continue for another 4 years. Thanks.
Hi, Josh. I know the recent INP plan that a few weeks back the board approved and was closely divided on. Critics of the plan said that it would have a negative impact on some of the recreational use of lakes in our area. Is that the case? Will it really have a negative impact? Was it necessary? If that is the case, were there other options available?
You know, I'd be honest and say there's a chance that the recreational opportunities in this part of the state could be impacted by the compact in general. We talk about the state wanting to be responsible for solving the situation, and I would tell you that the state is the ones that are going to pass water through the reservoirs instead of storing it. So when we want the state to solve our problems, a lot of times we don't like the solutions that come. And there is a chance that some of the lakes will not be able to store water when the state puts a call on, but there is nothing in place that allows the state to call for water that's already been stored and is under permit in the lakes.
Good evening, Josh. You write that you want to continue working with other districts for long-term water policies. I wonder what are some of the obstacles you've encountered in the past 4 years, how you got past them, and how you intend to overcome the obstacles that you see in the coming years?
Well, I'd say we have a pretty big obstacle in the fact that the three NRDs are very divided at times. There's a lot of finger pointing and things that go back and forth both locally and when you get down to the state level. You know, I think that's one of the things as boards, the more synergy we can have with the other boards, the more we can get accomplished. We have more power and we have more ability to reason with people in Lincoln and Omaha to come out and help us in this part of the country if we're getting along. And that's an obstacle that I fear is not going to go away as long as we have finger pointing and declines in one area, late development in another. You know, the arguments go back and forth forever. But we just have to try to work through it, and in the middle we have a role as a little bit of a mediator between the two districts on either side, and I think we need to take that role seriously. Well, I guess I'd just like to close by again thanking everybody that came here, and you know, it comes every election cycle, everybody gets really wound up about a lot of these issues, and I'm glad to see it, and I just hope that it carries on through. We have NRD meetings every month, and there usually isn't more than a handful of people, you know, maybe 20, 25 at the most at a regular meeting. As big an issue as this is for our communities, I'd like to see more people be involved and go to these meetings and call us. Call the representatives, call the office, get your questions answered, and figure out for yourself how you'd like things to be done. Thanks.